Today I'm talking with Jo Ryan, a parent consultant from Baby Bliss, about that all too familiar temper tantrum in the shopping centre. Now Jo, what do you do when your child does that thing in the shopping centre and they scream and carry on?
It's a nightmare. It's a mother's worst nightmare. The best way to deal with temper tantrums is to ignore them. Now obviously when you're in the supermarket and your child's throwing themselves on the middle of the aisle, you can't sort of walk away and leave them there. So you can try to ignore it, but the best way of dealing with it in public is to not get into a negotiation situation. So don't start offering them rewards. If you stop screaming, I'll give you a lolly, because you're just reinforcing their behaviour. So the best thing to do is to pick them up, take them out of the shop, put them in the car or away from the situation, and then ignore them. If you're putting them in the car, close the door and stand outside the car with your back to them and wait till they calm down. So temper tantrums, the best way to deal with them is in the home, obviously, and then hopefully, when they do them out in public, that they'll know exactly what's coming next, so they won't do them so often. So when you're at home, you need to ignore, okay, because the child is having a temper tantrum purely to get your attention. You've said, no, you can't have a biscuit. They throw themselves on the floor and they start to scream. And if you give in, they've learnt a behaviour. They've learnt that, okay, if I throw this temper tantrum, I'm going to get what I want. So you're rewarding bad behaviour. So that's a no-no. You don't want to be doing that. So the best thing to do is walk away. Now the child might follow you around the house screaming, throwing themselves on the floor. Keep walking away. Even shut the door if you can. Obviously making sure that the child is not going to hurt themselves. Shut the door, sit in your bedroom for 5 minutes and say to the child, when you stop screaming, I will talk to you. So then if they do stop screaming, then you can reward them with your attention. Now we can talk about what's going on. So you start in the home, don't reward bad behaviour, ignore them, and hopefully they'll get less and less. But all children throw tantrums, unfortunately.
It does work though, ignoring them.
It absolutely does work, because it's purely an attention-seeking activity. That's all they want. They want your attention.
I know I did it in a shopping centre once and my mum was lucky enough to be able to hide around a corner and I never did it again.
Absolutely, see? She taught you that it doesn't work. And the worst thing is giving in, because then they've got you and it's all over.
If you have any more questions on temper tantrums for Jo, you can contact her on the email address below.